Good afternoon, good evening. Corey, how are you, man?
Hey, pretty good, Brett. How's things in Oklahoma?
Oh, that's up and down weather. You know how it is here. One day it's cold, one day it's hot. A lot of times it's both in the same day. So
Hey, how about that halftime show at the Bowl last night? Did you get jiggy
I
with
got it.
it?
Hey, I was in 100% in. I had actually like my pregame was since 1999. I had been preparing for that halftime show that deep. Yeah,
It
believe it
was
or not, that was right in my wheelhouse.
it was popular on social media for sure.
You either loved it or hated it. You were either looking for George Jones or you thought that was the greatest thing ever. I don't know. I was for it. I thought it was great.
Yeah.
I
Yep.
did think it was hilarious after the fact. They said that 50 Cent looked more like 350. So I
I
thought
got
that
a
was a
kick
pretty
out
good
of
one.
it. Did you see that deal Callis put up on Facebook? Brandon Callis put up there
Oh
today?
yeah. Yeah,
Yeah,
exactly. I
I thought
loved
that
it.
was
Yeah.
I thought that was
Who was that got him on that? Kendall Rosenstein?
yeah, yeah, no,
Yeah,
yeah,
I
yeah, yeah.
loved it. Yeah, I did. I loved it. Hey, Cattle Drive Live. Here we are tonight. This episode sponsored by Matt Lochner Cattle. Matt's sure no stranger to this business. Sure got a heck of a bull battery that he's awfully proud of and makes a lot of miles. And tonight we're going to feature one of his Cavanese sires to talk about, and that's Simplify. He's got semen available on that bull, conventional semen, and that there is sex semen, as well as there's some Simplify clones 2 and 3. That's $35 a unit, and there is sexed female semen, I believe, for $50 a unit. But it's available at the MLC office. Get a hold of Matt. He can get it to you. Those guys, they make a lot of miles every year, Corey, delivering semen to your front door. And as always, uh, they can pre-order it and deliver it somewhere or ship it to you. So, but what about Steph Sindel? Did she give you any good information today?
You bet at Show Circuit online sales there, or no, you're talking Show Circuit magazine.
Sure, Circuit
Their
Magazine.
deadline is coming up for the March April issue is due Friday, February 18th. Um,
Mhm.
again with Sure Circuit magazine, those herd sire ads that they're selling right now are $4.95 a piece, and that comes with 100 free flyers to hand out or mail
Mhm.
out. And all other ads are $5.95, and that also includes 100 overrun free flyers to
Yep. Get a
mail
hold
in.
of Stephanie, 419-508-3226. Get a hold of Steph. Get your stuff slid in there to SC the magazine for the big March April. So hey, rolling on segment one. Got the coffee shop. Current events within agriculture. I mean, I know everybody's anticipating spring. It just seems like it's been slow, right, Chet, is in terms of current events. Anything stick out, Corey?
Well, just down in Texas this week, they're getting ready, working on having San Antonio.
Mm-hmm.
Uh,
They said let's rodeo.
uh, you bet. Yep. Down in that great state, and just kind of working on those Texas majors down there.
Right. Yeah, they're going to pick them off one by one here. But no, have you seen the social media posts from the Texas guys? It sounds to me like you just be well off to Uber to the show and to the hotel. I mean, just don't even take a vehicle down there.
Yeah.
Everybody.
Right. Yeah.
Yeah, it's something else. I didn't realize it was quite that bad, but if you're not aware of it, get on social media and find it. They will. The Texas folks will tell you all about it. So,
Yep.
but
Yep. Yep.
anyway, yep, there we go. Hey, what about next segment here, the herd report? We got quite a few sell reports came in.
Yeah, the other half of Show Circuit, the Show Circuit Online sales division, had a busy week this week. Jason Minert there at Minert Cattle, he had a annual or his embryo sale. Had top sellers was sells 3 embryos for $3,300 a piece. They were unleashed out of the original Katie 5S donor of his. Boy, that cow has pumped out a lot of embryos in her lifetime.
Yeah. And that Unleashed bull, that's the one that they're still showing, right?
Yep. That'd be right. Yep. Yeah, I can't get those confused. 2 different breeds.
Mm-hmm.
Yep, that is right. And then Don Trinan, Mike Trinan's father, had his dispersal this last week. I actually saw a couple of them cows today. 25 head, average 4,100. The high was 8,000 in that sale. So congratulations
getting her right.
sales. And then we get into CCI Live, and they had a sale this week. Your buddy Kyle Conley, I guess, down there in your neck of the woods had one.
Yeah, just 12, 15 miles away from me, Kyle Conley and his father-in-law, Harris Penner. They have their annual bull and female sale. 63 bulls, average 75.31. They sell 340 commercial bred heifers, average 17.73. They sell 50 first calf heifer pairs, 27.89. The high lot, a no limit son, brings 70,000. So, and then we had a couple of Hereford sales back up your way this week.
Well, I tell you what, there was 2 sales just because they were close to each other. Top Herefords and Schaff Angus up there in North Dakota. And boy, they know how to sell them up there in North Dakota. Ryan Top there, up there, he sells 186 purebred Hereford bulls and averaged 13,844 to gross $2,574,984. And then his neighbors, they're up there, the Schaff Angus Valley, up there, they sell on Saturday 361 Angus bulls, average 14,816. They sell 177 females and average 12,940.
Yeah.
Good day, good week in North Dakota. And then we wind up down there in Burwell, Nebraska at Upstream Hereford Ranch. 161 head of 2-year-olds, average 6,001. 139 fall bulls, average 47.21. 6 Angus bulls, average 6,833. 306 bulls grossed 1,663,576.
Hey, I'm going to tell you, I'm telling you, agriculture is on fire right now. These guys, there's lots of optimism in this business, and it's showing with these guys buying these bulls. And I'm telling you, the bull deal has been nuts, Corey. And it's all been around you. I know it's Northern Trade right now. We haven't fired up just yet, but gosh, it's crazy.
Yeah, there's about, if they're not every day of the week, they're just about every day of the week right now in South Dakota. Next week they will start every day of the week, but they've been really good. And I haven't got the sale report on it. I just came in from Fawcett's Hereford sale up there in Reheight, South Dakota. Great crowd. Just the winter's been so good up here, and people are just excited. As long as we get some rain in April and May, it's all going to be really good.
Right. Brandon Johnson just asked what the top bull was there. And I don't guess I have that information, but I bet if we throw it out there just a little bit, somebody will know and fire us a shot. Let us know what it was. I bet it was cheap.
Yeah,
they're just giving them away out there.
It did not have that on the. Yeah. I just saw Rod Geppert, the Angus Fieldman there. I just saw that on his Facebook page where I got that info. But I bet you somebody will type it in there.
If you know, let us know. Fire us a comment. If you've heard, shoot it in there. Give us some information, and we'll be sure before the evening's up to pass it on. But hey, segment 5, man. This is big stuff tonight. The old meat and potatoes of the night. We got a heck of a good guest here, don't we?
Oh boy, yeah. In terms of the show ring and show heifer business in so many breeds right now.
Mhm.
A guy that sure comes to mind. We got him in Tim Schaeffer.
Right. Yep. Hey, there he is.
What's happening?
Welcome.
Paige said the man, the myth, and the legend. And I do believe she labeled you just perfect there. So
Oh gosh.
Corey, I run
Hey,
into
real quick, I had it 350,000
oh, you had
was
it.
the top selling bull at Schaff's.
How about that?
Wow. The top selling bull was 350.
350K.
Did you know that? Where did you dig that up?
I live next to Gen X bull buyer.
Oh, I see.
Joey Sankey.
Did Gen X buy him or?
No, I don't know that.
Yeah.
I don't want to start off there.
Yeah.
Gotcha. Awesome. Well, hey Tim, I gotta tell you, it's Corey and I, Paige, pleasure to have you here tonight. I ran into you in Oklahoma City a few times, and just one afternoon, I pitched the idea of would you even consider it, and you were like, yeah, if it'll fit, and so hey, just glad you're here. Tim Schaeffer, owner of Schaeffer Show Cattle. You and your wife Emily and your boys Braylon and Collier.
Yep.
In Hagerstown, Indiana. So, hey, real quick, tell us a little something about Tim Schaeffer that we don't know.
Well, I actually growing up, I was distant from the cattle business. I was a horse person growing up. Horses in the wood business. That's what I got my start on. Building cabinets and chasing points to get qualified. And that's what made like Oklahoma City fun for me, because I grew up going to Oklahoma City, showing at the World Show or watching my parents show at the World Show as we chase points every Sunday, trying to get qualified for that show, running North Carolina, Virginia, just 1 or 2 point events. And they put me on a couple horses 4 or 5 years old. Loved team penning. They never let me ride with my sister because we'd probably be screaming at each other so much in the ring. But seeing how fast you could pin 3 head to make some money, and that's maybe why I'm so fast paced now a little bit. You had to try to get something done under 30 seconds or you weren't making the finals. And that's kind of what just kind of inspired us, was just showing them horses and starting in that realm. And now here we're running 300 head of cows, and I have no desire to get back on a horse. 4-wheelers are our main speed, I guess, at moving everything around here. But kind of growing up being that competitiveness in that arena, I've learned 2 things. I look terrible in a cowboy hat, so any show I have to judge, I'm hoping I don't go too bald too fast, because I'm not gonna probably wear a cowboy hat. And I really don't have any desire to get back on a horse.
So I wait real quick, Corey, before you fire up. I'm curious. Did you as tall as you are? Like, did you just outgrow the horse and like couldn't find one tall enough that your feet wouldn't drag the dirt, or did you just say, "Screw it, I don't like the horse anymore"?
So mom and dad, they still would have a few out here in Indiana, that where we're at now, until they kind of just passed them on by. We took care of them because they liked them. They're like, "Why don't you get a horse out here?" And I'm like, "It takes too long to saddle it. I'm always running behind anyway. Tim Schaeffer's always about 5 minutes late, so that's definitely something about me." So it's quicker to jump on a 4-wheeler real quick and go get that one trans over reset up than it was for me to go saddle a horse, take the time. And as accident prone as I am, I'd probably be, up there in the ditch or around a tree because I fell off the thing anyway. So that's really why I don't want to get back on a horse again.
There you go.
So you say, Tim, when you first, when you were young, you didn't like grow up right in it. Like what was your earliest involvement in the cattle industry?
So it's fun. A couple of our guys the other day, we were cleaning up one of the embryo offices down here at the cow facility, and my mom was great about saving artifacts. I mean, there's stories of everything. So she sent down this trapper keeper, and it had, as Kyle Pegg, one of my guys, was digging through it and had our first membership to a breed association. And it was 1998. We joined the Simmental Association. And that year that's a great, that is God off. I mean, I was highlighting my hair. It's terrible. A guy down the road had a butcher shop. Clarence Burkholder ran like 150 Simmental cattle, and I'd drive by that place or ride by. At that time, I was 14 or 15, and I said, "Dad, I want to buy one of those cows." And he said, "All right." So we stopped in the Clarence's, and when that guy took us up, he had like a state-of-the-art barn built by Penn State, and had like 150 of these old lemon red and white Simmentals. But there was this one black and white spotted Holstein looking one. And that's the one I wanted. But he let me pick through 150, 160 calves. He said market price. At that time, it was $485. And he said, so Dad said I could pick 4. And I was mowing all these yards of the neighbors. And I had this little tally up on the fridge. And Dad bought the initial investment, but I worked it off mowing everybody's yards, up and down Housetown Road. And I ended up buying 4 head for $485. And that's got me in the cattle business. I would give anything to have 2 of those back because they were lemon colored, as fat featured and built. The structure in their legs were incredible. Man, I'd love to have them things back now to just kind of generate, because they were awesome cattle. And from there, at age 15, buying $485 lemon and red goggled-eyed horned. They weren't Fleck V's, but they looked like the old Fleck V's, the old full-blood cattle. And I would page through like the ABS books and stuff like that. And we'd hit like the old bulls, like 600U and some of the old great Simmental bulls. And all we were getting were these gray rat tails because we were breeding these lemon colored Simmentals. And that was first calf crop. And honestly, that very next year, I jumped in and had I bought one out of the Pennsylvania Simmental sale for $1,200. And that female actually raised S&S Sahara, was one of the heifers we raised that won her, was champion Simmental female in the junior show in Louisville. And the very next year, we had an opportunity to buy some cattle, and something got in our heads a little bit not to. We ended up getting hooked up with Cliff Orley at Keystone Cattle Service. Been around long time.
Mm-hmm.
And Cliff introduced us to Wendell Reeder down there in Texas, or has some land right in between Oklahoma and Texas line. And it really was year 2. He said, "Hey, Wendell has this calf. Would you like to buy her?" She was $10,000 at the time. That was Waro Fancy Pants. And that heifer went on to win the 100th anniversary at the American Royal. And then Fancy Pants would be the mom of like K1, which is the mom of Coors female that was Supreme at Kansas City and Louisville. She was the mom of P29, which was also the mom of the Hot Rod female the Blanding family had that won Louisville. And it was, so basically year 2 jump started us and instilled in me the power of a cow family. I didn't see it till about 16 years down the road when it actually became a business. But the power of those cows, and they're still here with us today, 20 some years later, of what they've done for our program. And that's probably why I hinge so wholeheartedly on the whole cow families, because basically a pony riding guy on 5 acres in Pennsylvania was able to take formidable cows and screw around and mess up a lot, but in the end of the day, make so much lineage that would actually go on and win some of the most prestigious shows.
Gotcha.
That is crazy how, and it's just, your program's no different, but you just look across the country and there's several of the best programs in the country. You can tie back to one cow family that basically launched and projected one program into one direction, in the right direction, and just change the face of it immensely.
There's Fancy Pants there. Yeah. And that's because like we started and we didn't really know much better. I mean, obviously I was buying $400 $485 stock. And then the next year I went and self-selected one out of that Pennsylvania sale, and she went on to produce great for us. But that very next year, before we bought Fancy Pants, and the previous picture, we had bought 2 cattle from Silvertown Farms, which was a staple there in Indiana for so long. Doug Smith and Dave Henderson did such a great job out there in Indiana, which is now only 20 minutes north of me. And we bought from there continuously, and they always supplied quality stuff. And nothing against the guy that we didn't buy from right when we bought Fancy Pants. But if we would have went that direction and just someone said, hey, maybe just watch where you buy, select on this, get in with some good people. If we would have not made that choice, there's no way I'm sitting in Indiana today. There's no way I'm got 6 full-time guys and an awesome crew behind me and 300 head here. And it's amazing. 1 or 2 different directions, luck, good gracious from God. I mean, things would not have, there's no way it'd be still the same. Because if we didn't get some of those base pieces or stuff that my parents bought for us to get us started, there's no way we'd be here. I'm pretty confident in that.
You hit on being in you just hit on being in Indiana. There's no way I'd be here, and I don't think a lot of people realize your start wasn't in Indiana.
Nope.
And one of your very best friends growing up is someone else who's in this business that's pretty handy, with Nate Tice.
Yep.
But talk about that. You guys actually both started in Pennsylvania. So
yep. So Tice and I, we grew up like 5 minutes from each other. We went to different high schools, but I remember one time I might have been 16, and they grabbed us in this Suburban. His parents did, from a 4-H meeting, said, you guys are going to go learn how to livestock judge. And they filled us up with Jolt on the way down there, got us all pumped up. The old, I don't know, it's like the old energy drink back in the day. I think it had 80 pounds of caffeine in it,
Like Mountain Dew.
They take us down the Delaware Valley livestock judging contest, and that's where I really got to know Tice. So we jumped in and we would just beat the trail down livestock judging together. And we always kind of had that Eastern Pennsylvania mentality. No one knows you. They're not going to know you unless you fight your butt off to make a name for yourself. So we would work hard going through practices. And I mean, Tice and I would grab pictures out of the show circuits of what calves would look like. I mean, I always remember that one at Doctor Who, he just looked so cool, that picture of him. And we would hang it on the walls, and we'd sit there and just work on steers together, heifers together. And you didn't know a lot because you were stuck in Eastern PA at the time. Now there's such a great resources of cattle out there, but we just felt like you were grinding to try to not be somebody you weren't, just to work hard to get a name for yourself. So him and I spent, all our time together. And Tice is, a bomb could go off by Nate Tice, and he probably won't move 1 inch. I'm probably blown up over a staple being out of place. We're complete opposite people, but we get along so well because we talk about stuff all the time and we work it out. So Tice and I are growing up together. 5 minutes from there, always kind of just trying to figure out what to do to get better. And it's the same way now in our program. He owns some cows with us, and we run it Schaeffer Tice together. Obviously, most of the stuff out here is Schaeffer Show Cattle, but we own a group of cows together, and it's still today. We talk every day, matings on cows, bulls, what direction can we go with this, and just bounce ideas off each other. But that's really how him and I kind of got connected, was beating the trails of livestock judging and buying steers together and putting 42 fans around them and working them 5 times a day, and letting my girlfriend at the time show them at the county fair in a tube top, which wasn't a good idea, but just being young and dumb, learning stuff, and really kind of, we learned by screwing up a lot, and it was awesome. And then that's when things started kind of going in a little different direction. Tice went on to college. For some uncircumstances, I stayed home and ran my father's wood business while he was dealing with some health issues. but then it all kind of came back now. So
yeah, I reached out to Tice and said, hey, with him being on today, I mean, you got any like really good stuff? And Corey was after a video and I was after something else. And he said, well, all that stuff's real funny, but it's like, I don't know if this is the right content for tonight. He said, but all you got to ask him about, if you want a real funny story about where we started, ask him about the leaf blower.
Yeah. So we're horse people, and the Lebanon area fair, born and raised, Lebanon County, Pennsylvania. So mom and dad, we had the, slant load horse trailer, and here we go. First calf, my sister had a steer, and heck, we had the darn doors down on the trailer, the hay bag out for the steer, and dad's like, hey, I got, one of those fans on the wheels that just blew all the dirt literally from the fairgrounds right into your steer's legs. And we didn't go buy a blower. He had a leaf blower. So we went out with the wood shed that he built us, because my dad was very crafty with that, built barns all the time. But that's what we went to do. We had the leaf blower, and that's how we blew dry that steer the entire time. So Tim Schaeffer started out hay bags, leaf blower, and two-wheeled fans that literally sat an inch off the ground. And I mean, literally blew 62 pounds of dust in them steers' legs the entire time at that county fair.
At the county fair.
And then my sentimental, soft person that I am, begged for that calf to not go through the entire process, but we didn't win that either. Because I was honestly supposed to take that steer and one of those $485 calves, and the one I chose to bulk was the one that had the biggest set of horns, and was like a 9-frame red goggled-eyed thing. So those 4 animals, we named them all off the ladies off of Friends. Like we had Daphne, Rachel, and I tried to break Daphne, and there was no breaking her. That thing. So we just went to the county fair with a steer and a leaf blower.
Love it.
Now we take 80 some blowers and 46 head to Louisville. It's been a good transition.
Yeah, there you go.
Hey, tell us a little bit about your marketing and kind of your sales, how many head a year you sell, and how you market those cattle.
So, like right now, our biggest sales are our female sales and our genetic sales. But our female sales, we'll probably sell 125 open females a year, or show heifers. And we balance it. It's really come full circle now through the genetic sales. We're like I said in the previous, we're big on those genetics and supporting those families, just because I think in this day and age, when a business goes around, when 2 people can benefit from it. So a lot of our egg sales flow back into our open heifer market. We raise and run about 250 cows here. But then with all those genetic sales or open heifers that we do sell, if they will raise something that we could utilize back, we'll bring them back here. So we kind of put that initial 50 in our September sale. It's something Tyson and I started. I think we're getting ready to go year 14 since I moved to Indiana. And It's funny because, them first few years, Tice would always come out because he was obviously still working out there at Sullivan's at the time. And we'd picture them babies really young. And now we still do it and get some early pictures and early advertising. And we started out with 7 the first year. We bit them off in the barn, and it lasted 2 hours. Now our bit off lasts about 7 days. And it's just really kind of changed from there. But we always do that second weekend of September is our big bit off. And it's funny now because everybody's like, how's your sale work? And then everything was sold that way. Everybody did the pasture bid offs. Right. Now you have to really explain to a lot of the families, no, you call leaving a bid and they close in September 11th, September 12th, whatever it might be, the second Sunday of September. They close at 6, and from there on out, we will bid them off over the phone. And with all the new methods out there, online material, your old, tried and true live sales. It's really kind of, I think, phased in some people's minds that that's how it still works. I still enjoy that because you get to connect with every person that came, viewed, or called or expressed interest in that calf.
Right.
Now you also get the bad and the negative when a family spent a lot of time wanting to get said calf, and sales have been, a little higher, a little more fortunate this year. And you got to feel all the raw emotion and all the unfortunate emotion of someone not getting the calf they really, really wanted too. So
Yeah.
it goes hand in hand, but I love that sale. That sale is our biggest. It's our most special. We load up for that one, and just try to offer multiple breeds of elite level quality cattle that have the genetic, profile behind them and the phenotype to kind of go out and get the job done for those kids, for those families in the show ring and in the pasture. Most people want that banner, but I really try to build cattle that will produce and generate an income, because
Right.
I think that's the most important. And then after that, we sell a lot of cattle privately, try to fill some orders, have a few other smaller select open heifer sales in that regard. And then we kind of tear into the whole genetic side of things on our program.
Yeah.
Well, you
Yeah.
guys really changed the advertising business a little bit on marketing those calves, because you guys were kind of at the forefront of maxing those things out like early in the summer and taking rock star pictures of them things, and kind of changed the way some of them people did that, really.
And that's, everybody says, well, why do you sell them so early? And now that it's grown so much, it's almost gotten more difficult because I got to employ about 20, especially on the weekends, to get a little bit of hair on them. I was just talking with someone the other day, and I was like, I really love these fallborns because you can give them about 2 baths and a clip job, and they look incredible because they're so hairy, And I
Mhm.
said, there we are with those springborns, and we're starting in July and just nonstop on them till that sale in September. And everybody will come to my place. They're like, they'll freak out when I see one licking, or them guys that work for me are like, they hate sale time because we'll wash all 50. And then before the evening crowd will come, all 50 will go back through the chutes or the rack and get reblown off, resheen, so that when that time comes and everybody's like, you're crazy, we can see them. I've been doing this not near as long as a lot of you guys, but I don't care if it is the best of the best. If them things, you got a car sitting underneath a shade tree and 87 birds pooped on it, or you fresh washed it, it looks a lot different.
Right.
It can be the same dang car. And they're always like,
Same car, he said.
we can see through it. No. And that has taught me presentation is the best, whether we're standing around at a show or displaying the calf. If you want that calf to be whatever it could possibly be, because then when we go show them, we don't go out there with bird poop or licks or anything all over them. We take them out there to the nines, and I just, that's been my mentality of getting them things to that stage. And nowadays everybody's like, well, you've aged them, or you've done this, you've done that. I'm the type of guy, I got 30 of the best heifers we got, 4 creep feeders under all the shade trees. If any of my guys put more than 2 bags of feed in that creep feeder, I'm going to smack them, because I want them to go out there, fill that creep feeder twice a day and stir it. So it's fresh feed at the right places, just trying to get the most out of them calves. And it's not even the hottest of feeds. It's just enough fluff so they carry on through. You're just trying to do everything to the most exempt degree to make it the best it possibly can be. Now we're like, well, the sales have been good. They started good. We keep rolling. I can't ever change out of this date, so I'm kind of stuck to it now. So I guess we're going to be scratching, trying to get as much hair out of them as we can for the second week of September from here on out. So
there you go. Hey, so you hit on this. You have multiple embryo sales a year that you obviously offer multiple breeds, multiple sales. You start one actually this week.
Yep.
Have you ever regretted selling a set of embryos like later on, or ever look back and say, I wish I hadn't done that. Or anything
I
stick
get
out?
I get this a lot, and honestly, I don't. I don't know that I honestly have one that I do regret, because what we have started was I will write down everybody that buys a set of eggs from here on out, from every sale we have, and I will at least check in or call, or those guys will reach out to me and say, that didn't work. But most times they're like, dang, this was awesome. Could we're really, really pumped. And I've at least on everything that I thought would go the way it would, or, close to it, I've gotten an opportunity to at least maybe get my hands back on it. And in the end of the day, we'll bring them back there for that sale. And if I'm able to make or create a little bit of fortunateness or money for a customer, they're pumped. And it was a good story. And I'm a big guy on stories. Every time you can create, 99% of the time, a positive story, I'm pumped for it. And that's why I've always never probably had any regrets on turning it loose. And I actually work harder, and my wife will attest to this, because I'll sit in this house for hours just mating stuff up. What can I do to make that embryo sale the best? I want to have pound for pound the best female sale across all breeds. Not saying I'm better than anybody. And I want to have the best genetic sale a guy can offer. I want guys to be able to say, whatever breed we're looking for, we can at least tune into that sale and see if it's in our window, knowing that they're going to get the consistency, the genetics, and we're willing to go back there and take that animal back from them and work for them or with them on however it is. So I've never kind of been like, oh, like this year I threw the cow deal in embryos on snow. That was one I was kind of knocked my knees a little bit. And I was pumped. We got an awesome new partner in Mr. Jim Cowan up there and his family in Wisconsin. And I mean, been awesome to work with so far.
Has he said which cow he's taken, Tim?
Yep. I ended up splitting up the 50%, and he took a quarter interest in two donors, Who's Playing and Plenty Foxy. And then actually, we worked the deal out and added a little bit to it, and took a quarter of an extra quarter of the Princess 12D, the Broker Harrietta female that we had showed. So that was the tough one. I probably never regretted an egg, but the cows, I was just standing there. It took a lot out of me to sell them things, because I believe in those cow families so much. But in the end of the day, you get to meet new people like this that you maybe didn't get the opportunity to work with. And now I think it's incredible. I'm pumped with it, and you roll on. That was probably the only time I had a little bit of apprehension going into something. Because in the egg sailing, there's no kind of BS. There's nothing political about it. I mean, it's not the show ring. You get 100 people, 5,000 people, they're either in or they're out. You're either right or you're wrong on that mating, and that cow's either proven or she's not. And I mean, it's a put up or not kind of situation. And that's why I will always probably sell my absolute best in there and never try to just clean out. Because I want people to succeed. Because if they do, I've learned it a long time, and I'm pretty businessy, they will definitely come back.
Hey, this next question, Tim, I love it. What is the most underrated cow in your donor battery?
It's
He
tough.
doesn't have underrated cows.
Today was the day I paid my Transova bill, and my in-laws stopped in to say hi to the kids for Valentine's Day, and I was like, "Oof!" I just paid that bill. I said it actually made my other bills not look so bad, so you kind of got excited paying them. But we flush 46 cows right now, and I don't have enough resources. Again, that's why I sell so many eggs, because I can't get in the 10 or 15 out of a cow like they each probably deserve. Yeah. So that's another way I get to see their body of work. I'm real pumped on. I got two of them. There's 49G and 101G, the two Larissas. 49G was the one the Thompson family owned, the family showed. And then 101G was the one that the Neal family and the Mackenzie Neal from Ohio and the Aubrey Neal from Indiana, they co-owned her and showed her the fall born that won Ohio State Fair. Those two, again, stories, not good stories, but like 101G, the one of Thompson's, unfortunately had righted herself on a hill and prolapse calving. Everything was good. We got it in. She's rocking and rolling now, but I IVF flushed her prior to calving, and we got a set of like 24 karat bull calves on the ground. Neat that they all came out bulls, but seeing some of them things right now and the few of the babies we have right on the ground right now, I'm jacked up. So I think it'll be interesting to see what they can do. And that's why I think they're underrated, because it's not all out there for everybody to kind of grab at yet, but I'm pretty high on them. I get pumped on the ones I think I'm positive that it will work. And then it's through my 80 sentences long write-ups in my embryo sale, whether people want to take the time to read it and believe me. But I like those cows proving or backing it up a little bit. And that's what makes the egg sale so fun. I won't say I've never been wrong, but I've been pretty consistently like them things will get to a pretty positive if guys just stay tried, true, and consistently without trying to go too far outside the box.
Right. Gotcha.
That's probably why I say I don't go too many different bulls, but I'm just trying to keep it as consistent and grouped up as we can.
Right. When it's good, it's good. And when it's bad, there'll be a better day, right?
Yep.
There you go. Hey, so all the champions that we've talked about, visited over, and favorites and good story, bad stories. What's your favorite one you've ever sold or shown to this point?
Favorite one I probably ever, the story behind Honey for me. Honey's the old Honey cow from Hudson Pines. That cow made me. My parents made me, and my parents like got me here, and now the support of your staff. That cow single-handedly made this farm. And it's funny because I actually sold her, but I won junior nationals with that heifer. You got little story on Honey was, I was working everything for Hudson Pines and Harkers and everybody at that time, and Cates's. That's how I got to Indiana, because I was clipping for those guys and ended up taking a full-time job. And that was right in the time I had Honey, but I was clipping all that stuff for Hudson Pines up there. And I went and actually had a meeting with Mr. Rockefeller himself. And I said, I don't know, I can afford this cow. I loved her. I thought it was the best, most perfect structured built and Simmental I've ever had seen at the time. And he said, hey, I'll partner with you. You just, whatever you buy her for, you just pay half of it. And that was cool. David Rockefeller was one awesome human being for all the money and everything he had done. But it's the neat thing about this industry, the people you get to meet. But I end up, she only brings 10,000, not only, but she brings 10,000. So I had to write a check for 5. And I win junior nationals with Honey. She wins Louisville. And I was in Denver. I was already started my job at Cates's running their show barn. And they Remington up in Canada offered us 60,000. And at that time I was 21 years old, living in Indiana, running a show barn. And I thought, heck yeah, sell her. So we sold her for 60. And 2 dispersions later, I finally get the bovine back for like 20,000. And since Honey came back to us, she's raised us like 7 Louisville champions, over 2 million in progeny sales.
Golly.
She still stands out in the barn right now, like 20 some years old. 19 she is today. So she's in like the retirement village out there. But that cow, yeah, I mean, the day she goes will be a good day, but she will get a monument on this place because she helped mold, build, and teach me things that most people haven't. So I'd have to definitely say Honey.
Cool. That's awesome. That's quite a story. I'd never heard that before. And like how old was she when you got her back? Like 4 or 5 year old or?
So I like Remington, like they went a different path, and she was selling. Well,
Yeah.
the family was gonna, I I was gonna buy the cow. Well, you know how them guys work. They're like, well, so this other guy, Lazy H, were looking at her, and we were supposed to own her together. Well, it didn't work out. They ended up getting the cow, and I didn't get a part of it. Well, then when they dispersed, it didn't
Yeah,
matter.
Lazy
And
H.
then we were buying her back. So we ended up buying her back. I think she was 10.
Yeah. Oh, 10. Yeah.
So in the last 9 or 10, so in the last 7 years, that's when we had, because she had the class and female Nichols that was reserved in Louisville. The primo female was reserve national champion. She had the style that Sully buys that was reserved in Louisville. The ability of that cow, and I still could go out there and flush her now, but she'd flush you about 20 or 30 a crack. You could throw them at the tree and they'd stick. Right before I hung her up last year, she did like 24 to Limitless for me. I probably couldn't even give her a shot right now to make her go. She's a little arthritic, and I mean, I don't know how that thing maintains body weight, but she just stands out there and we get to kind of greet her every day. It's going to be a tough day on the farm when it does happen, but what she's produced, and then we got a decent amount of daughters out of her. It's formidable cows like that just kind of change the game for you. They make this business actually, I don't know, way more than a business.
Yep. Hey, tell us a little bit about how do you balance the number of head you sell, the customer service it takes. How do you balance that with your personal life and family and stuff?
So it's been a challenge just because now that we really picked up the bulls, no limit, 24 karat, and you have that entity. So you get calls on that side of things alone. The egg sales, always moving stuff around, then just the customers and the cattle. And being big, we tried to build a big force, and we have an awesome support staff here as far as guys. I'm a guy that's out there every day, but I also do all the books, all the paperwork. My wife helps me a ton on a lot of that, but I'm a very independent person guy on the book side of things. So I just try to give myself a little bit of time in the morning, a little time at night. And then guys like, man, Ian McKenzie's been here for a long time. And
he was up for Best of the Barns Herdsman of the Year, wasn't he?
That guy deserves more awards than he's never got. And I think if he'd ever shave and just put a smile on his face, but that's not Ian, he'd rather take care of a cow or a calf not nursing or get one clipped to go win a show than he would just to say, honey, I said, hey, did you get your, get Kate some flowers for Valentine's today? No. He's like, I was worried about these cedars or the foot trimmer coming today or whatever it was, like, would you focus on something other than just the cow? But he's thankfully getting married this year, and him alone. And then the other guys like Quentin Ball, Ross Helms, Carver Gostomsky. We got Kyle Peg now there at the cow farm. My dad and my mom. Dad just got a little hernia surgery done, but he's done well. He's good for trucking donors around, and he's really good at driving tractors and helping us here, make hay, any of that when he's able to. And then just all the part-time help we have. It's crazy. I just try to think back now, like, we're getting ready to take 46 into Louisville again this year. And it's tough finding people to go, but we've had such a great crew of people stick with us to go to the shows, and they kind of know our rhythm and routine. It makes it helpful. I've also, like, when you go and just do the everyday stuff and you come in the house, you try to do enough with your kids, and I don't. I do not give my own kids enough time as far as like sports and extra stuff, because you try to balance out. You say your phone's not ringing, business is not good, but also there's a time where you got to put your phone down. And you guys can pull a lot of people on here. They will tell you Tim Schaeffer is the absolute worst at returning a phone call. I'm great at texting, and it's not because I don't want to, but during the day, I try to like keep up with the semen sales and an embryo question or what my show heifer is eating, because I don't have maybe the most personable crew, but they're so hardworking. So I get forced to answer a lot of those questions. But I might be also like today trying to haul 32 loads of manure. So I'm in a skid loader, not trying to be on my phone. It's tough. And if you're not keeping up with the Joneses, so to say, on the phone. But then also in the evenings, it's nice just to kind of unwind a little bit and not always feel like, and that's maybe where the business has changed a little bit. Right now, most of the time phone calls you get, it's not people saying, man, that semen was awesome. Hey, that didn't work, So most of the phone calls you probably are, fixing to get, unless it's about a sale, it's people are, maybe disconnected or not as happy with something. So you need to probably problem solve it. And that's probably where it gets a little challenging. Because number one goal in life is always trying to keep people happy. But first and foremost, that's my family. So I try to make sure I keep a little bit of both going at the same time without ever sliding one direction or the other.
Right. Hey, so as we wind this thing up real quick, Scott Sanders wants to know, would you take Carson Wentz back or not to the Eagles?
No.
No.
No, I would rather have I don't know. I think I want somebody else than Hurts, but that's not up for me. I just want another.
But you have an opinion. You have an opinion about those beloved Eagles.
I try to influence them every time I scream at the TV, but I don't know that they listen to me too many times. I just Wentz wasn't working out.
Gotcha.
Hey, I was actually a quarterback in junior high, so maybe they'll pull me in.
Oh, well, there you go. Gotcha. Tice could be the center.
He kind of looks like John Kelsey, but so real fast. I don't know if everybody got to tune into it, but 2 years ago, where were we? Semitole Nationals in Brookings. And what created was the wildest two-hand touch tackle football venue. I don't know if we've ever had so many spectators there ever. And it was of little kids all the way up to Tice. And I know myself and Kelton Arthur, he was like, I was Tom Brady, and he was the quickest wide receiver. I mean, we crushed Tice's team, just so everybody knows. But Tice tore his, I don't know, he buckled his knee because he's so unathletic. And, I mean, he couldn't even play golf with us that fall and that next spring because he was on injured reserve. So Tice ain't cut out for the football field.
No. Gotcha. Hey, it's been a pleasure to have you on. There's no doubt. We've had some big fish on here in our short time here, but none bigger than having you on here so far. It's been fun and heck of a good story. And I didn't realize exactly how your start was either. I knew it wasn't conventional in terms of being raised up in this business, but I had a pleasure listening to you tonight. And each one of these things we close out, except last week. I did a terrible job of closing out Cattle Drive Live with no Cattlemen's for Christ, and my phone literally blew up. Like, hey dude, what's up? Why didn't you do that?
I wondered about that.
I apologize for those people.
Yeah.
But I'm going to tell you tonight, we will close out with Ephesians 5:15-17. It says, so be careful how you live. Don't live like fools, but like those who are wise. Make the most of every opportunity in the evil day. Don't act thoughtlessly, but understand what the Lord wants you to do. So food for thought for the week. Tim.
Good stuff.
Hey, man. Thanks for coming on.
I appreciate everything. I appreciate the opportunity and you guys taking the time to visit with me on this. It was a blast. I mean, it means a bunch to be able to come on here. So I appreciate it to the nine.
Hey, thanks a lot, Tim, and good luck to your Eagles in the future.
Thank you. I appreciate it, guys. We'll need it. We'll need it for dang sure. I'll try to take my luck a little bit in the ring and in the upcoming sales, and we'll see how the Eagles do.
Yeah, there you go. All right. Yeah, hey, you keep selling